How are you? How is everybody doing? Grab them if you got them. You know the drill. Today is one of those lethargic days where I'm like, forgive the air conditioner. It is 95 degrees. It is so humid, it's actually making me tired. But I wanted to do this video. I wanted to do this video because I have this stack of books here I wanted to share with you. I am in the middle of, and before we even start this, I'm not saying this for pity. I'm not saying this, woe's me. It's summer. It's going into summer. The air is humid. It's very humid. It's very warm. I've had all this, I've talked about it in my first video, all this chaos going around me in the last year and a half. It was bound to happen. I am having an MS exacerbation. Nothing serious. Have MS for over 23 years. It's what they call an MS hug. It's where from the top of your stomach all the way to your back, it just feels like a cobra. I call her Medusa. Is just yanking on both sides and just pulling me. You know, like a corset, if you had a corset on, and it's just knocking the wind out of me. It's really doing a number, which is how this whole thing started to do this video. Because this weekend, as you know, it's the Memorial Day weekend, and I hope you all had an amazing time. I hope you spent it with friends and family and people that you loved. I spent it with the friends and family and people that I love, but I spent it here. I cannot do any kind of strenuous activity right now. I have to kind of do the low-key, rest, relax, drink my tea, drink my coffee, just put it in a calm state, because I can't take, normally when I have an MS exacerbation, I take either Solumedrol or prednisone, but because I allowed myself to become a diabetic, I can't do that, because any kind of steroid shoots my sugar way up. When I had the dexamethasone for when I had the last bout of COVID, remember I was telling you I couldn't no taste or smell or anything? They put me on dexamethasone. Well, the person that put me on it didn't realize, because I didn't renew my file of life, that I was a diabetic. My sugar, and I kid you not, on my father's grave, went up to 500. I'm like, no wonder I feel a little off. So they're like, no, you have to stop taking it. And so I had to stop taking the dexamethasone, and that's how we realized that if I have an exacerbation, it's pretty much just comfort measures, just taking ibuprofen for pain. I have the tizanidine for spasms, but the problem with that is it makes me extremely tired. And then just drink tea, just watch movies and videos and breathe in and out and relax. So that's what I've been doing. And in the process of doing this, I have Amazon Prime. You all know what Amazon Prime is. I also have the Prime Videos, the Prime Video part of it included with it. And I was going through it because I'm like, God, there's nothing on, can't find anything on Netflix, can't find anything on Hulu or any of those. So I went through Amazon Prime, and I caught a movie that I haven't seen in a very long time. And it's The Red Tent. Now, I don't even remember when the movie was made, but it was made based on the book, and I'm going to share some books with you today. The Red Tent by Anita Diamond. She did, there is a documentary about the Red Tent, and I don't know if I have it on here. It's called Things We Don't Talk About, Women's Stories from the Red Tent. And it was based on, about the book, The Red Tent. Now I'm going to give you the meaning of the red tent, because the meaning on Google is so much more eloquent than what I could say it is. So let me tell you what the red tent is. The red tent or moon lodge is simply a gathering of women that occurs at the new moon when girls and women are most in need of the support, meaning their menstrual cycles, or not even their menstrual cycles, because elders and crones like me can go into the red tent too to support these women who still have their menstrual cycles. For support and rest and reflection. This is a timeless tradition observed by ancient cultures, which serves as a regular forum for empowering women's sense of selfhood. Now, back in ancient times, they had what they called the menstrual huts. And I learned this part of explaining it through a Lakota woman that was part of the documentary. And she said people would go into these huts, they would sit on moss to bleed on this moss and bring it down to the earth, bring the blood down to the earth. It was meant to be sacred, because there were no menstrual pads, there were no tampons. If you were going to bleed, you had to bleed there, and you went in these huts. And in the beginning, when these huts started, it was pretty much meant as a time of shame, because you're bleeding and you can't do anything for the community or for, your family or anything, because you have to sit on this moss. And as time went by, Anita Diamond took that theory of the menstrual huts, and even though the book is dark, it has a lot of dark aspects to it, and even though the movie is dark, she took these red tents and she made it something beautiful. Once a month, and I still think they have some today. I looked up red tents in Connecticut and I found a couple of places where once a month women gather. And it doesn't have to be about your menstrual cycle anymore. It can be crones that are teaching young girls about womanhood. It can be just women all gathering together as a sisterhood and spending time together. And they have the talking stick. Now, if you don't know what the talking stick is, I have one here somewhere. Give me one moment. One moment, people. I have rattles, I have rain sticks, I have all that stuff. Yes, I'm sliding back over. This is the talking stick. And it is an American Indian tradition. As you can see, it's old because I got so much of the fur is starting to come off it. And what it is you see how ragged it looks? Good grief, I'm going to have to redo the top of this. It's just ragged, forgive that. But the talking stick is, they start in the red tents. Well, the talking stick for the red tent is, they start with the eldest to the youngest, and you hold on to the stick. And if you're the one holding the stick, nobody is to interrupt you. You are to talk about whatever you want to talk about, whatever is holding in your heart, whatever is holding in your soul. And you discuss it and you let it out. And everyone is to be silent and you are to be heard. When you are done, you hand it off to the next person. And this has been an American Indian tradition for centuries. It's the talking stick. Most of the time, the elders are the ones that hold the stick. And when they lift it up, it means they want to talk and they want to be heard, and you are to listen. Now in the red tents, it's each person. They start with the elderly and work their way down, and whoever has the stick gets everyone's undivided attention. And they do this, and you can let out whatever you need to let out in your soul. And it's all draped in beautiful, these tents, They call them the red tent, but it could be a room in your apartment, a room in your house, a shed that you have made into this elaborate red tent with beautiful red fabric and red rugs and linens on the floors, and red in circles, gathering in circles, and they sing and they dance and they get massages, and like they said in the documentary, in one place somebody's taking a nap and resting, in another place they're dancing and singing, in another place they're meditating, in another place of the red tent they're doing crafts. There's tea being made, there's soups being made, healthy nutritional food. And even your children, even the young women as 7, 8, 9 years old come into this red tent because they get their initiation of being part of this amazing circle, this amazing movement. So I started off by watching the movie, part 1 and part 2. Then I went into the documentary. And I read the book, like I said, years ago. And then it got me thinking, because I have nothing to do with my time at the moment, because I'm in this exacerbation. So if you hear my voice a little off, that's why, because it's just pushing on my diaphragm. I decided to go down the rabbit hole, and I'm like, it's been a long time since me and the goddess inside me have had a talk. It's been a long time, 2 years, maybe 3, that we've had a conversation, because I repressed her. I put her down, down inside the back part of my soul, because there's been so much going on. If you saw my first video, that we've been having to take care of everybody else and have had no time to take care of ourselves. Thus, this is how I got the exacerbation, is because my body said, did you forget you've got a disease? What's going on here? And it reminded me. So this is my time of rest right now. This is my quote-unquote red tent, where I'm drinking tea and I'm eating healthy food and I'm resting. I'm taking sleep. I can't take Solumedrol or prednisone, because if I do, it spikes my sugar. All I can take is ibuprofen, my tizanidine, and drink teas and eat nutritious food and rest. So after I got done watching the movies, watched the documentary, I brought out the book, but I'd already read the book. So then I came out with because I want to get back into my goddess life, I came out with my books about being a goddess. I have a bunch of them. And some of them I'm not going to lie, I half-ass read because I didn't have time. And some of them I just put on the back burner because there's been so much to do for everybody else. But right now I can't do any kind of strenuous activity or anything like that. So this is my time, and this is my summer project that I'm going to be doing, is I am going to be taking time for me. I am going to be taking time and going through these amazing books that I have never fully taken the time to sit and read them and reflect with them. So that's what I'm going to be doing this summer. Now I'm sure I'm not going to get to all these books this summer, but I am just going to, this is my project for the moment. And I'm going to start with Francesca de Grande's Goddess Initiation. This is a book about being initiated, meeting and being with your goddess. The goddess offers you all her power, all her love, all her cosmos. That's one of the chapters. There are rituals in here. There are chapters in here of different things to get to your goddess. Prayer for great sex. How to have great sex. I mean, that's a part of magic. Sex magic is a part of magic. And if you are a quote-unquote prude and you don't want to hear about sex and you don't want to, that's part of who we are. That's part of life. That's part of being a woman, even being a man. That's part of being human. Animals even do it. It should not be shameful. So many things that are sacred and beautiful, dogma religions have made to sound shameful and not talk about them, like menstruation and sex and menopause and things like that. You should be able to talk about them and talk about them freely. It's a part of who you are. How to avoid dangers and problems before, during, and after initiation. I mean, there's just so many great. The Wounded Healer, the Francesca's Helpful Hints for Better Magic. Probably got part of that talking stick all over me. You have to forgive me. Finding Your Good Fairies, Creating Support to Live Your Dreams. This is a really good book, and I've had this book for a few years now. I can't really read when though. But she has written quite a few books on becoming a goddess, how to meet your goddess, to be a goddess, to pull the goddess that's inside you out. I believe her first book was this one here, To Be a Goddess. And I got in this one before I got this one. And it's on, and you can see it's really old. This book is really old. I believe I bought it on eBay if I'm not mistaken. Gifts of the Great Mother. Pleasure, Power, Purity, VCRs, and anything else we need. What else does she have in here? A Child Dancing in the Rain. Primordial Celebration of Power. Pre-ritual cleansings. I mean, she has rituals. She has everything in here. An altar is a place of power. Find your inner altar. I mean, these books that she has written are amazing. This book by Francesca. Nope, this one is not by Francesca. This is a foreword by Gloria Steinem. Jean Shinoden Bolin, MD, wrote this book. I digress. I thought this was from Francesca as well, but it's A Goddess in Every Woman, A New Psychology of Women. This was gifted to me by a beautiful soul. I love her to this day. We have lost touch with one another, and it happens. It's just the way it is. You know, some people in your life are a season. Some people in your life are meant to be there forever. Me and this beautiful soul, we were only meant to be for a season. And that's okay. That's okay. I still love her to death. But we just lost touch along the way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But she gifted me this beautiful book, Goddess in Every Woman. So these are the four, other than The Red Tent, those are some of the books I'm going to be reading. Now, I finally got into, and I bought over the weekend because, again, I went down the rabbit hole of wanting to be a goddess, of wanting to get my goddess out of me again. I got the Warrior Goddess Training Series. I bought all 4 books. And I might actually start with these. I've heard nothing but good things about these books. I just got them today. And let me tell you, Amazon came, rang the doorbell, I opened the door, got the packages, and thought I was going to die, as Rosanna Dana would say. It is so hot out there, you get this whoof of heat. The Goddess Training Companion Book to go with the Goddess Training Book, Becoming the Woman You Are Meant to Be. I have not read these books yet. I've heard nothing but good about these books. These books are books that I've always said, you know, I think I want to get those books, and I want to really get into these books and become a goddess warrior, and I just never did. Because I've had so many of these other books that I haven't finished reading that I thought it would be a waste to buy these books when I haven't finished the ones I already had. But now I have time, so We're going to get into them. The Goddess Warrior Training Book. And goes with the Goddess Warrior Companion Workbook. This is the workbook that goes with this book. Warrior Goddess Wisdom, Daily Inspiration for Women. I got all four. I got the whole 4 series because I figured, go big or go home. So I got all 4 of the books. And like I said, there's mantras in here. There's actions you should take. I have not read these books yet, but I'm going to. Matter of fact, like I said, I might start with these before I go back to these books. And then there is The Warrior Goddess Way, Claiming the woman you are destined to be. There are 4 books in the series. So I am going to be reading these. And I haven't read them. I'm assuming that you start with these 2 first. That you start with these 2. And every day, read some inspirations. And I guess this is the 3rd book or the 4th book in the series. I'm just not sure. But I will be reading these books. I'm going to start getting into reclaiming my goddess again because she's been hiding for far too long. Self-care is so important. I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Self-care is so important because, as you see by my example, if you start letting the stress and chaos and confusion of the world start hammering on you, with me it's also the weather. It's also how the weather changes. Your body lets you know. Your body will break down in a matter of getting sick, whether it's getting migraines, severe depression, whatever it is. And you don't have to have an autoimmune disease for this to happen. Your body is going to let you know when you've done too much and you've had enough. Listen to your body because you're the only one that can. You own this vessel. It's yours. It belongs to you. And I have not been good to mine in the last few years. I started out really good. Oh my God, when I was on the diet and exercising every day, I call it a diet, but really it was a lifestyle change. And I exercised every day and I was getting stronger and healthier. I felt so good. There were days you wouldn't even know I had MS or any of these other diseases because I just felt so good. And why I let that go, why I allowed myself to go back to the horrible habits that I have had for years. I mean, food addiction, any addiction is real. It's a day-to-day fight. And when you let go of that, when you let go of that fight or you give up that fight, it just goes downhill, as you can see. I mean, as you can see the results of what happened to me because I didn't put myself first. So many things were going on in my life, I gave up and I didn't put myself first. There's consequences to pay for that. And if you don't put yourself first and you don't at least put yourself in the game, things are going to happen. You're going to get sick. You're going to get depressed. You're going to get anxiety. You've got to put yourself first because, again, people can't drink from an empty well. My well is not full. It's not full. And there's no excuse for it. I don't care how, man, I got that talking stick all over me. It's okay. It's sacred. I don't care. I smudge my stuff. It's good, but it looks like I got cat hair. But it's my own fault because I didn't By the time I realized that I gave it all up, it was too late. You look in the mirror and you're like, what the hell just happened here? And I started getting weaker and I started getting sicker. You got to take care of yourself first. And that's nothing selfish about it. There's nothing selfish about it. And I know it's easier said than done. I know this because I'm living proof. When everything went down last year, and even the year before when I got COVID really, really bad, actually 2.5 years, no, I'm going to say a year and a half, 2.5 years of pure hell is how it got to this point. I know that it's easier said than done to put yourself first, but use me for an example. I'm living proof. If you don't take care of you, nobody else can take care of you, and then you can't take care of anybody else. It's that simple. I mean, it's just that simple. So this is going to be my project. This is going to be my little project for the summer. I am going to get into these books. When I'm done with these books, I'm going to go back to these books. I'm going to start with the Goddess Initiation, Be a Goddess, and Goddess in Every Woman. Goddess in Every Woman. So yeah, find your passion. I've said this before. Find what inspires you. It doesn't have to be about bringing the goddess out into you. It doesn't have to be, shamanism or herbalism or any of that stuff. Find your passion. If it's music, if it's coloring, if it's drawing, if it's painting, if it's walking, exercise, being physical, whatever your passion is. Volunteering. I still volunteer for Goofyfoot. Whatever your passion is, find it. Take time to close everybody off. This is one thing that I started doing this year too. In the morning, after I take care of everybody and my canine kids and everything, I shut everything off. I drink my tea, I meditate, I turn on my incense, and I didn't have this, I've just gotten this one that my daughter got me 2 months ago? 2 months ago? I forget when. Trying to get the thing set up. Put on a candle, put on some incense, close everybody off, put headphones on, meditate. Get into your meditations. Drink a nice hot cup of tea, whatever kind suits you. I only drink green tea. I've told you I add herbs and things with it, but green tea, I don't do black tea. But if black tea is your thing, that's fine. Get into taking time for you, even if it's 10 minutes in the morning before you go to work. Because I'm telling you, if you don't, this is what happens. This is what happens. I'm having it feels like I said, the cobra is just pulling on both ends. It's hard. It's really hard. But I know it's going to go away. I know I'm going to sit and relax and things are going to be fine. But this is living proof that you need to take care of yourself. And you need to take time for you. And if people get pissed because you do it, oh well. Oh well. They're just going to have to get pissed. If they don't understand that you're as important as they are, that's on them. That's on them. Alright, so that's just what I wanted to tell you. I got into the rabbit hole of the red tent, and then I remembered, wait, I've got the book, and then I found all my goddess books, and I'm like, and then like I said, this weekend, Amazon Prime is amazing. Usually you get things within 1 to 2 days. So I said, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to go big or go home. I got the whole series. So that is what I'm going to be doing this summer. And as I go through these books, I'll share some stuff with you that I'm learning as we go along here. Like I said, I've been wanting to get these books for a while, And I just never did because I've got these books here, but I also, because life got in the way. And then finally this weekend, I'm like, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to get the books. I am going to read them. I'm going to study them. And I'm going to get my goddess back because she deserves to come out and play. You know what I mean? She deserves to come out and spend some time. I got my little Gaia over here. Did I show you? I don't know if I showed you my Gaia. My little Gaia. She deserves to come out and be heard. As all of you do. All of you deserve to be heard. Another thing. I wasn't sure what video to do this in, so I'm going to do it in this one. If you have a YouTube channel that you would like to share with everyone, put it in the comments. Put it in the comments below. Yes, my comments are held for review, but if you put your video, I will absolutely accept that. I will absolutely. Put it in the comments below so we can all share our passion with each other. We can all share our videos with each other. We can all share our lives together, what we're doing, what's going on in our worlds, what's inspiring us. Share your videos, share your YouTube channel, and I will put it in the link below so that everybody can watch your videos and subscribe to everybody and get our words out and get out our little group here of, hopefully I'm inspiring you. Hopefully. It's been rough. I started this channel back last week and I'm like, oh Lord, today's been a rough day, but I really was called to do this video, but my MS been kicking my butt. But if you have a YouTube channel you want to share, just put a comment in. I'll put it in the links below. Because we're all in this together. I don't do the competition thing. I know that my channel will never be a millionaire channel. Will never be $1 million channel. It ain't happening. If I get 500 people, I will be happy. It's like, yay, 500 people are listening. But it doesn't matter. It's not about the numbers. It's about the people that want to share their lives with you and want to share their time with you. And if you are watching my videos because you want to see what's going on in my world, I can't thank you enough. I love you. Because like I said, I wasn't sure whether I was coming back or not, but I'm here, and I know this video is like, because my MS is like, go ahead, keep talking. Lord, I love you. I hope you have a great day. Don't forget to put your YouTube channel down there. I hope everybody is staying cool. I hope you are happy, healthy, and whole. Like I said, I'm gonna have a little project going on this summer. I love you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.